Hi everyone, and welcoming Jack for this new episode at Meet at the Junction. And yes, today Jack is coming with us during the show. Jack, we know yourself like together quite a long time ago, but still you have plenty of caps, I would say. So it will be great like for the audience like to know more about you. You got like a very cute one, pink one actually. Speaking of
Yeah,
caps. So yeah, I mean, like, feel free to just like share who are you, what you did, like in your life, personal, like before, like background, and what project are you like involved like right now in crypto space?
yeah, absolutely. To kick things off, thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here. We have known each other for quite some time, so it's exciting to kind of be able to sit down with you and do this show, and also to see the progress that you guys have made so far. But to go ahead and introduce myself, my name is Jake. I'm based in Miami, Florida. For the past 5 years, I am the head of business development at Moso, which is a shopping platform, shop to earn, to be a bit more specific. So you come to Moso, you find the merchant that you're looking to shop at. We have over 4,000 merchants. No matter where you're logging in from, whichever country or region, we do have stores available to you, many national stores, and we also have many local merchants, depending on whether you're logging in from the United States, Asia, Europe, Africa, wherever it may be. And we give you a kickback, a rebate on your purchase. So instead of giving it to you in fiat, we're giving it to you in cryptocurrency, and you choose the cryptocurrency in which you'd like to get that kickback or rebate in. So it's very similar to Rakuten or Honey in the Web2 space. But what we're
Okay.
doing is we work directly with projects and we distribute cryptocurrency back to these users.
Okay, that's pretty easy to understand, I guess. Maybe like already like I have like few questions like around that. Is it like so you, like on your business model, so you take like a commission like potentially like on top of that?
Exactly. We take a commission, and the commission is gets distributed to us from the merchant after each conversion, which is a purchase. So when we drive purchases to these merchants, let's say Walmart or eBay, they'll pay us a cash commission to Moso. We take a small percentage of that to hold on to, to maintain operations and everything such as that, and then we distribute the remaining percent of that commission directly to the user in cryptocurrency. And I think a really cool thing is, we're converting that fiat into that digital asset, which, a lot of
Mm.
projects really love because, we're buying the token on the open market, and it does introduce some sort of buying pressure um, into the asset. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's easy to understand. What I really love about it, it's very relatable. So when I go to my parents or when I go to, my girlfriends who don't know anything about crypto or what it is, they say, oh, this is cool. It's a shopping, application, but there's cryptocurrency involved. So the bridge between Web 2 and Web 3 is very attractive to me, and it makes it very easy to explain and relatable to others who aren't involved in crypto.
Yeah, because that was actually like my you read in my mind because like the generally like the second question we ask is like how do you just like manage basically to explain it to your like I would say like entourage as we say in France, so like the people like close to you, but you already like kind of like answer this question, but maybe like more like on your daily job, so how does it looks like to be like inside of Jake every day, to work like in
Yeah.
this area, because you potentially just like manage a lot of like different connection with like many people.
Yeah, so we have over, around 4,000 merchants roughly, maybe a little bit more. So we're
Wow.
always looking to include more merchants, whether they're big national merchants such as a Marriott or Expedia, or maybe it's a local merchant inside of, somewhere in Vietnam or Korea or Japan. So I do
Mm.
a lot of, I gather a lot of feedback from people in crypto and also outside of crypto, from all over the world, where it's like, hey, do we have the merchants that you'd be interested in shopping with? Should we add any merchants that you currently are interested in shopping with, or that we don't have? How can we make our product or our solution more attractive? So I do a lot of I guess outreach and kind of gathering feedback in that capacity, where it's like, hey, how can is there anything that we don't have? What should we include? And also from the user perspective too, people that are using our platform daily and regularly, it's also really good to get their feedback. So that's part of the day to day. Another part of the day to day is how can we drive more user acquisition, and also how can we execute on some larger, scale partnerships. So we work with a lot of Web3 projects, and we list their asset as crypto back. And basically, we say,
Okay.
this is a really great way to become the premium go-to asset on Moso, to establish yourself as a crypto back asset in the affiliate marketing space. And it's also a great way to drive, adoption of your asset, globally, because we are a global shopping platform. To increase your global presence, we buy into the asset on the open market, and I think it's a really great way, for these projects to introduce themselves to our retail e-commerce users. And I think, in my opinion, one of the most, attractive things about, working with Moso is these users are able to on-ramp to the token without having to do any sort of KYC, without having to go through any sort of steps, because we understand how difficult it is to on-ramp, right? And with Moso, we're distributing this crypto back to you directly. So a great way for these projects to get exposure to these sorts of Web2 retail e-commerce users. But yeah, we look for projects that are looking to, kind of add more utility to the token, give users more to do within their ecosystems. I speak with a lot of wallets, and we say, hey, how can we make our solution valuable to you guys? How can we, you guys, generate more revenue, open up new distribution channels, unlock those channels? And kind of the idea is, if I'm not sure if you bank with Chase or if you've had PayPal, they do a ton of affiliate marketing where they, in their application, they have, hey, get like 5% off, of Walmart, for example, or whatever it may be. I was in the Chase app yesterday, for example, and they have all these different, offers, and says, hey, you get, $10 back or 5% back or $10 back, up to like $50 or $100. So those are the sorts of, partnerships that we look to kind of execute on with, Web3 projects and Web3 wallets, for example.
Wow. I have so many questions
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you opened it like so many like new I guess like questions in my mind, like because it's very like it's something like in the distribution market which is like clearly missing for most of the project. So the first question maybe like I could have, because you say that you were mentioning about listing the token like for them, so I guess like there is an interest for them because it's a distribution to a more global like I would say like customers, so even like non-crypto users, so which is like kind of like the potentially like the goal at the end. um Maybe I would start like with this I would say um, yeah, technical part, which is, do you operate like on a single blockchain, or do you have like multiple like I would say like VM implemented? How does it work like for the token implementation
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
distribution?
That's a really good question. So I'll kind of rewind and kind of go back to what the user journey does look like. So a user comes to Moso, that XYZ, they click shop now, depending on where they want to shop at, and then they activate the asset that they want to receive back after making a purchase.
Okay.
So the front end UI is going to show the asset, which blockchain it's on. It has its logo, and then it's going to say, hey, how much, what does the kickback look like? Is it the standard kickback from, a Walmart that's paying 2%? Or are these, rates juiced up? Are they boosted to maybe like 10%, 25%, and 50%?
Mm,
And that is one way that we work with these Web3 partners, where they give us some sort of allocation to kind of establish that as that go-to asset, which is incentivizes the users to activate it because they're able to earn the most back. So now
okay.
let's get to the technical part. If a user becomes eligible to receive crypto back tokens after a purchase, the way we're currently doing it now is we're distributing it to the user on that specified blockchain in which they activated the asset on. It could be Ethereum, it could be Base, it could be, maybe one of our Web3 partners, such as Plume,
Okay.
for example. So we're moving to a token claiming model. And what this token claiming model is going to do is users are now going to be responsible for claiming their own tokens. And I think this is really, really exciting because, as what's used, obviously existing Web3 users understand how to, claim with their wallet. So now a new Web3 user, what they're going to do is they're going to be able to record their first transaction on the blockchain. So one shopping trip equals one transaction on that specific blockchain. And it's a really great way to kind of get their feet wet and get them onboarded. So we will be moving to a token claiming model, and then the users will claim their tokens from that specified chain. Once the tokens are ready to be distributed, we'll
Mm,
contract up. We're doing some gas abstraction, chain abstraction too, to help users who don't have maybe the gas token or tokens in their wallet to be able to still follow through and claim those tokens. and not have any sort of friction during that process.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So you're basically just like going like in the way like of potentially like abstracting, I would say like this like kind of like blockchain part at the end for the end users at some point. So just like you see the token, if you want Bitcoin, Ethereum or something, you just like claim it at some point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Once the tokens are available to claim, all the user will have to do, because they already have their wallet set up, whether they have an existing wallet, a MetaMask or Coinbase, or we help them create a wallet for them. They'll just have to claim the tokens, and if they don't have funds, we'll help them get the funds through the abstraction process. And if they do, all they need to do is just sign the transaction, and hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That is like pretty smooth, I would say.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah.
so that's a lot, I guess, like to tackle. I will like answer like maybe like go into more deep question, I guess, like before after. But first, I wanted like maybe to jump back like to you, and you've been in the space like since quite long. You're juggling like in many like different like vertical with like protocol and also like project you've been involved in. How do you just like manage, because it's been like very long time? Do you have like a way, a hobby, and maybe like sports or something like that you do like in your half time to just like manage the pressure, be I guess a bit better, because it's sometimes like when we just like go like through like one project to another and just like again into like a deep like technology, it's very hard like for the brain, and we need like to resource like ourselves. So what's your trick?
Yeah, I think the first thing is I do love it. I have a passion for it. So when you like what you do, it makes everything becomes much easier, right? You
Oh
enjoy
yeah.
it, and it doesn't really feel like work. But to really get to your question is, I think I mean, I love sports. I love to watch sports. The NBA playoffs are on now. I'm a
Oh.
massive, sports fan. I'm a Sixers fan. I'm from Philadelphia. They had a really horrible year, the Sixers, but they got the number 3 pick in the draft. So at least they got something out of that really bad year when they shouldn't have even been in the top 5. But I love the workout. Working out is important to me, and it's important to me because it helps me, really helps me mentally. It clears my mind. I feel good, and obviously you look good too. Looking,
Oh
it's more
yeah.
about the mental clarity than looking good. Looking good, for me is more like another supplement or benefit from working out. But I like the workout. I like the steam. I like the sauna. I like to be outdoors, and being in Miami is really, really nice because I can hit the beach as well. I can relax. I can do
Oh
things,
yeah.
you know, that others can't do when they're in cold weather cities such as in New York City. So those things have really helped me kind of decompress, take time for myself, listen to podcasts or whatever it may be, hang out with some friends. And then when I can kind of, get ready for work, I can kind of, lock in, focus, and I can feel good. But I work out daily. I eat healthy. I like to cook. So those things have kind of, they've helped me through my career, and especially lately. It's when you feel good, you look good, and you work well. That's kind of my.
The the perfect man in the perfect form. Like taking care of the finance, cooking, doing sports,
You got.
liking like NBA games. So
I
I
do
mean,
want to get into what's really big in Miami is pickleball and paddle. I haven't done it yet for some reason.
oh yeah.
I don't know why everyone wants to play. It's a great place to meet people too, and network. But that's not even why I would want to do it. It's I feel like I'd be really good at it, and I'm obviously very competitive. But that's one thing that I actually need to do this summer, especially when things get a little bit quieter in Miami. Is like, okay, I could start somewhere. I probably won't be that good, but hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
You have to start somewhere. And how about that? Like I went like to New York for the second time like a few weeks ago, and I did my first paddle class,
What do you think?
which was like pretty fun, like very hard, but it's pretty fun. I can understand like the passion like of people like for it, because it's kind of like tennis, but like yeah, a bit little different, but
Everybody's
it's pretty
obsessed.
cool.
Everybody's obsessed with it, so there's got to be
Yeah,
something
it's obsessing.
to it.
It's cool. Like you find a way to get outside of like all of this, so it's good. Like I mean, like anyone got like his things, and I think you find like and you're looking good. So I mean, everything looks good. So yeah, just to come back like to the discussion. Thank you like for sharing a bit of yourself during like this little break. Um, but for me, I understand like quite well like the model of Meso. It looks pretty very large market actually. So for now, what is like your focus? Because you can barely just like focus on anything. You could just like go like with I don't know, like sport brand, entertainment. Is there like any like I would say place you go like right now and you are like giving like a focus?
So I really think, well, our main focus and priority is to be, you know, the number one platform or the go-to shopping infrastructure where users can find the best rates. That's what we want to be.
Okay.
We have better rates than our competitors. We have better rates than the Web2 platforms such as Honey and Rakuten, and we're able to have these incredible rates um, because of these token incentives that we can include and add on top of that base rate that the merchants paying. So really, our focus is having the best rates, allowing users to earn the most from their shopping trips, and being that reliable source where users can come to Moso, and find these incredible deals that they literally can't find elsewhere. And we have this, a really awesome Chrome extension as well too, where you don't need to come to Moso to XYZ. But if you have the
Mm.
Chrome extension, I can go to Expedia organically, Walmart organically,
Oh yeah, okay.
always populate reminding me saying, hey, get 20% back, get 25% back. So that's really important too, is really driving more extension downloads. And another part of our focus is really revamping the UI and UX, and creating a new login and onboarding experience for all types of users, Web2 and Web3. So we're in the process of that right now. Kind of retooling everything, creating some new architecture on the back end, and creating a new interface for users to engage with. So those are really the main focuses. Are kind of just
Okay.
making a seamless, continuing to make a seamless user experience on Moso, all the way around from start to finish. There's not really a specific vertical, whether
Okay.
it's I guess Walmart or travel. We just want to have the best merchants that our users love.
Um, yeah, okay. I mean, like, that's a good point. But okay, so you basically have like a similar product, but by leveraging like Web3, you can like give like better rates. So basically, what's like the idea? Like, will you just like vampire attack them? So basically, just like get into like the competitors, like I would say like integration, and just like try to sell it. What is like your I would say like ways to growth, like and get like known, and like people replacing like the application to be just like for using like Meso instead. Um,
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think we want to, we're really focused on the Web3 space, and I think,
yeah, first.
the the end goal is to, yes, get more people shopping at Moso, finding these deals and being able to, educate and onboard users to cryptocurrency assets. I wouldn't say it's stealing users from, these other Web2 platforms. I think, for example, some of these, Web2 affiliate marketing platforms, they're not global platforms. They're kind of restricted to operating in the US only, or maybe Asia only. So I think, what we're able to do, we can kind of, tap into a global market, where users from all over the world are able to shop at Moso and activate any sort of different asset. I wouldn't say we're looking to kind of steal users from a Honey or Rakuten. I
Yeah,
think, yes, the whole premise of the concept is get cash back, but we're giving it to in crypto. And we're also kind of looking to do a few things, such as hey, I get my crypto back, I receive it. Now what do I do? Can I
yeah.
hold it? Can I, what do I do? Do I hold it? What else can I, do, use it for? Is there some sort of flywheel that we can implement, right? So now we can think of staking, locking tokens, maybe putting it into some, LP pool, or, some sort of yield source. So that's, what we've been thinking about, and, what we'll be looking to do and implement over, the coming months. But how can we help users grow their crypto backed portfolio through these different, DeFi activities and mechanisms?
Hmm.
And one thing that I do like is, a product called Acorns, where it's a shop. Um, and then, say you spend like, $5.60. It takes that 60 cents and invests it in, I think, all these different, stocks or whatever it may be, the spare change that is remaining and left over. So I kind of want to, we kind of want to create a model that's, on Moso, that's a little bit similar, where we're helping users grow their crypto back portfolio, and it's a great way to educate new users too of what else there is on the blockchain and how you can get this sort of incredible yield through these sorts of activities.
You literally read my mind each time. It's crazy because my question was like, okay, like so everything like the focus is on the work for you, and you basically just like have these balances that can be like, for example, like before claiming, the claiming state. They could basically just like leverage like a DeFi protocol like at this time and could just like either like get like more reward like for the users if they just like leave it, let's say, like in the reward balance, kind of like a lending at this time, and it's just like compound. Or you could just like, yeah, just create more revenue. So it's pretty interesting. Like there is like many verticals. I guess like you could like work on that. It-
Exactly, and it's exciting because I think when you're doing, say you're engaging in these sort of DeFi activities, or say you're just holding your crypto back, right? Users that serious shoppers, are able to get serious, crypto back rewards. So in a bull market, if you're holding these rewards, or if you're compounding these rewards in these DeFi mechanisms, then you're actually able to make some serious, cash and some serious crypto. I'm saying thousands or tens of thousands
yeah.
of dollars, depending on how much you shop. And we have a really exciting partnership that we're going to be announcing over the next few weeks that we've been working
Oh.
on for I guess since December and November, and this it's already May, so we finally got everything ironed out. But it's in the Bitcoin ecosystem. It's going to be with the Stacks team, and we're going to help
Mm.
introduce their new programmable asset SPTC to our community, help drive adoption of that asset and make it that go-to crypto back choice on Moso, where users are going to see, wow, like I'm able to get the most for my SBTC crypto back. Let me activate that. It's also pegged one to one to Bitcoin. And the exciting thing is, by holding this, on Moso, you're going to qualify for 4% yield that's distributed, I think, every some sort of 2 weeks. So that's going to be kind of be our first, proof of concept where it's like, hey, activate the asset, and then by holding it, get some sort of, yield back. And, if you hold it for a while, it's going to obviously compound, and a user is going to come back and check their portfolio and be quite happy with what, they're looking at.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. Like at first, like when you were like describing like the protocol, and then we are like now at a level that we can see like very funny stuff with like leveraging like DeFi on top of like even like reward. And I guess like it's only possible because like it's linked to the Web3. So do you think like competitors will need like to adapt and basically just like do like a similar ways, or they will just like try to operate like at the, let's say, like Web2 level?
It's hard to predict. I mean, they're so successful at the Web2 level, and you
Yeah.
know, I mean, maybe they do like stablecoin payments, but I think kind of expanding into all these different assets and the DeFi activities and the lending and borrowing, I feel like that's a little bit more complex and sophisticated. But I think the thing, that I love is, it's the affiliate models. It's a proven model. So it's something that
Oh, yeah.
excites us, and there's obviously a big market for it. There's a lot of shoppers, and everybody shops online, right? More than they shop in store. So the idea is like, hey, use Moso and get these incredible rates better than you can get them on these other platforms, such as the Honey and the Rakuten. And now we can really tie real tangible rewards into Web3, which I think really has been missing for so
Yeah.
long. So much speculation, and et cetera.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, that's thanks for the alpha, by the way. I guess it's gonna be released potentially like at the same time as the announcement. So
Yeah.
that's very cool. Like for the people that will hear that. Uh, maybe I do have like still like one last question like around like the this protocol and like the job like you are in. So how do you see potentially like your space evolve and where you see your protocol, let's say like in 12 months, so like a year or like ahead of that, because you potentially like have a roadmap, but what will be like the dream, like on your side,
Yeah,
like your
man.
expectation?
Well, there's a lot of interesting things. We spoke about, DeFi and stuff like that. Um, but I think really what's also interesting is getting users to pay in crypto. And, currently what we're seeing, a lot of merchants are accepting stablecoin payments now,
Oh, Stripe.
whether it's
Yeah.
virtual cards or Stripe, Mastercard. I think MoonPay and Mastercard came out with an
Oh,
announcement.
yeah.
Um, so I think that's obviously we want to find a way to integrate that. It's up to the merchant though on that end, but I think users being able to really pay in any asset, or any sort of currency that they have in their wallet. That's something that we're really looking into, um, and we're really excited about. But I think just mostly continuing to have the best user experience, making it seamless for all users. Users that are new coming on, generating a wallet. Without understanding really crypto, and being able to really navigate the platform in an easy, um, seamless way. But I think we want to kind of be that one-stop shop for all sorts of shopping and all sorts of portfolio growth and in crypto. So I think in a year out, have a lot of flexibility for our users, whether what they want to receive, how they want to receive it, how they want to grow their portfolio. Do they want to pay in crypto, right? And I think even stuff such as helping other projects grow their affiliate programs or referral programs, and even making purchases, believe it or not, directly from Twitter with kind of an embedded link. Walmart, oh, like let me purchase from Walmart on Twitter, without having to leave that sort of interface. So things such as that, just extending our distribution network and channels. Um, yeah, that's kind of where we're hoping to go, and what we're looking to do.
I mean, that's that I only wish for you that it goes like this way and everything like works well.
Yeah.
I maybe have like a few questions because I know like as well you're like very involved like in the DeFi space and just like in crypto in general. You are like always aware like of the new things because you're potentially like as me like very passionate. Is there like a maybe I would say like just a DeFi protocol or just like an idea that you are like kind of like very bullish on like for this cycle? I know like people will speak about like potentially stable coins. They will speak about like AI. But yeah, more precisely if you have like
Well,
a
I think
future.
how about these guys from Morpho, the lending
Mm.
protocol. I think they're doing like BTC loans, but the reason why I
Oh
think it's
yeah,
really interesting is because they have this incredible partnership with Coinbase, and they're getting a lot of good publicity, a lot of good press, and obviously it brings strong credibility too. And I think it's integrated directly in the Coinbase, and I think they crossed over like 1 million loans or maybe $1 billion
a
in volume.
billion. Yeah, a billion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's that. But I think the lending space is huge. I think it's pretty underexposed, especially from the Web2 side, because nobody really knows how it works, and there's no middleman involved. It's fully executed by smart contracts, so there's no mistakes, there's no nonsense, and the rates are really really great. So I think a lot of people don't know about it yet, and once they can kind of get some more exposure to it, understand how it works, it really becomes a no brainer. And I think this whole integration with Coinbase is it's huge. It's huge for Coinbase. It's huge for them. So I'm pretty bullish on Morpho and kind of and their product and the lending space. I think the integration is quite cool, and there seem to be the traction seems to be really really great.
Oh yeah, no, it works pretty well. And actually, like there is something pretty cool as well because you're like speaking about like the lending part, so like collateralizing and stuff like that. Like even in France, because yeah, I'm from France. There is like a new law called Lombard, and you can like now it's like validated like in France since like a week or so, and you can just basically collateralize like your Bitcoin to get like a loan, which is like very impressive. We are like
Lombard's
only in
very good.
2025.
Lombard's very good.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, you know about them. So I'm pretty like convinced, like as you, that the lending side got like a very bright future. If it's like well incorporated, like let's say like even like in banks. Uh, so potentially like do you think like it will happen? Because like we saw it like with Coinbase and Morpho, but it's still like on chain. But do you think like banks will potentially like get into a level like implementing like this type of like things to be able like to bring let's say like a Bitcoin to a bank to just like give a loan to
Yeah,
directly to a user?
I don't think it makes sense for assets other than Bitcoin, just because Bitcoin It's a $1 trillion market cap. It is the largest, and obviously the most reputable and safest, cryptocurrency asset. So I think for Bitcoin, it makes sense. Everybody has Bitcoin. It's it it was the first asset in the beginning, and it's the one that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And I do think yes, there's a good chance. I mean, if you've been following along with a lot of this regulatory stuff in the U.S., it's been very very positive. I think the Fed said recently that, or one of like the regulatory overhead said, hey, banks can custody cryptocurrency. So you have that. The SEC has been very favorable to it. Stable coins, are they're I think they're working on this genius bill, this stablecoin bill in Congress right now that didn't get through the Senate, but now they're trying to get through the Senate. And people that really understand that and know what's inside that bill, they say that's a really really big and important bill for the the future of stablecoins. And I think there's a very good chance of it, especially what we've seen over the past 6 months since Trump's been in office. So I think the next 4 years, or I guess almost at this point, 3.5, are going to be really exciting in the crypto space because it is becoming more accepted in society, especially in the United States of America.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go America. No, I mean like we saw like I would say like the positive trend, so like the one that works like pretty well. But would you have like one that is like for you like completely vaporwave bullshit? Something like you seems like it's like overhyped like right now. There is plenty of things like happening, so maybe you have like one in mind that's just like okay, why it's like working, and potentially like it's just like yeah, just like a trend, and it will just like
Well,
explode.
I think over the past few months, the AI trend was very, very hot, and it was definitely overhyped. I think the AI trend's very cool. I think there's a lot of good projects out there that can actually. I think that there's that project Anon right now is really hot, where it can set your orders for you. It has some AI implemented in it, where it's like how it can
Mm.
handle market, and then based on like what it sees or what it's digested, make those decisions or execute them for you. I think the AI maybe it's still a little bit too overhyped, but I'm having a little bit of trouble kind of thinking of other areas that are
I can give you one if you
yeah,
want.
yeah. What do you think?
Potentially, like for me, it's like you see like there is like so many like new launch token. I would say like launchpad, but for tokens. So people like just like came, they just like let's say like launch a video on Twitter and just like put I don't know like the ticker and tag the application and say like yeah create me like a token
I was
based on that.
I was thinking about that too, but I was like, you know what? Is it overhyped? I mean, these you have that Believe app, which
Yeah, I believe.
you create a token directly from Twitter. It's pretty obvious. It's very novel, of course, but it's generated 100 million fees in like the first like week or two.
It's
But these things,
crazy.
I mean, like maybe they're overhyped, but these things are like they're generating serious volume, like
Yeah,
in trading volume and fees, and people actually launching tokens. Like you have the Bonk platform, so I mean, maybe it's overhyped, but I guess like this comes down to like, is it sustainable,
yeah.
right? So we'll see.
Either for the blockchain, because you have to pay, like the fees are paid like in token.
Yes.
So potentially like for the blockchain, like if everyone just like, because like you see like there is pump fund, like now there is like this, there is bags, with like a Jupiter. So at some point, like if there is only people like getting money and just like selling it, I don't see like how well it could like end.
Yeah.
Or basically just like because like for me this is like the don't trade I would mention is because we've seen also like project that launch token like with that get like a hype very quick, a lot of attention, but the thing is like there is a new one every day,
Right.
or like even like 100, so then you're just like yeah
I
you're
agree.
done.
What I will say is that I think there actually is like a large market of meme coin traders
Oh yeah.
that are like looking to snipe these launches. And I mean, listen, even over the past, I guess that mini bear over the past few months, not that we're out of it yet. People are still trading serious tokens. You look at some of these bots; there is like a few $100 million in volume per day. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like people love to gamble.
Yeah, people love to gamble.
Greed is a powerful thing. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, believe it or not, they're still doing some interesting volume.
And you say it, believe it or not. Say, like, believe is like the perfect name. Like,
It
just for that, I would buy it.
is. They're doing a good job.
We have to believe in something. Do you believe in something?
Of course. How could
Of
you not?
course. Yeah. Bitcoin to 1 million?
That would be nice, right?
That would be nice. That wasn't a question, but just like pop up. So yeah,
Maybe
I mean, yeah,
I said maybe one day.
maybe
Bitcoin.
one day.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. Okay, I think we passed like a quite almost like all question that I did have, and maybe I have like a one that you could share, like I guess like for the audience. So you mentioned there was like a little alpha coming like very soon with the potential with like the BTC. Remind me which one was it with
It's
the
gonna be
stack
stacks in their SBTC
stacks.
programmable asset.
SBTC. Yeah. So there is this one, but is there like any new feature or update that people should be
Yeah,
aware about Meso?
I think another new feature that we're really excited about that we're going to be pushing out soon. We're going to be integrating some AI functionality into the shopping platform. So you'll come to Moso, there'll be a little bit a chat box, and you could
Oh.
type in that chat box what you're looking for. Um, Say you're looking for a certain product or whatever it may be. It'll the AI will take that and then it'll spin up results of where you should shop, where you should look, and the best deals that you can get that earn
Mm.
the most crypto back. So that's going to be the purpose of it. The function where you don't need to go through the site and click all these different tags and categories to find what you're looking for. You're going to be able to find it like this so much quicker. It's going to make the experience much better, and we're really excited. I think the AI is going to be great. It's kind of going to be like your best shopping buddy. You'll never go shopping alone anymore.
No need Amazon anymore, you're saying? It should be Meso only? That's right. Okay. We got the message. No, I mean like AI is pretty cool if it's like well used, like for such like usage, like something that helps people get like the things they want in the best way. This is the perfect like meet, I guess. So I guess like with all the things you've done, so maybe like a lot of like different like roles like in crypto and like being like here like since like a long time. Would you have like any advice, any tips to keep like the pace, the enjoying, doing like a great job, like for anyone that is like potentially like working outside of crypto, want to get into it, or just like look at you and say like, oh, okay, yeah, that looks like pretty nice, like this application. Maybe I want like to work like for this application, but how do I do like, is there like any tips to just like start?
Yeah, I think take risk. That's
Oh
very
yeah.
important. Calculated risk. Use your best judgment. But yeah, I think what's always worked for me is I've been a risk taker. I've always gone with my gut, and typically it's always worked out for me. But yeah, I think just be persistent, be aggressive in the opportunities that you're looking to explore and that you're looking to find. Speak to people, in the crypto space or outside the crypto space. Help out, on the side part time. You don't necessarily need to get paid, but just to get experience. It's kind of what I did even before my Galaxy time, and it led me to Galaxy. Um, but yeah, I think just learn, listen to podcasts. Travel to conferences if you have the funds, and if you're able to do so, you can meet some cool people. Networking is very important. I think in terms of finding the right opportunity, ask questions. Questions are really important. It shows a willingness to learn. And I think you just want to, if you do something you're passionate about, you'll feel good. And being able to work with people that you're compatible with is very, very important. I think the interview process is kind of it allows you to not only the person interviewing you to figure to see if you're a fit, but you can also see, hey, am I going to be compatible with this person? Are they going to set me up for success? Am I going to be able to learn and develop and grow on a professional level? As well along with a personal level. So I think yeah, just be coachable, be reliable. That's very, very important. People want people that are reliable, um, and be willing to just do whatever it takes. And that's really the advice that I have, and um, it's what's helped me get to where I'm at today. And I would never, tell anybody anything that I didn't do myself or go through myself. So this is all real and authentic. I promise.
No, I really like your type because it
Yeah,
reminds me a lot of like my personal experience.
yeah,
So yeah, I couldn't like say like better. Like take risk is like the first thing you should do. Like anywhere in the life, you have to take risk. That this is you have one life. If you don't take risk, then who like everyone will do it like for you. Like oh, anyway, like so just like do it. I
of
mean,
course,
yeah, that's the first step. Do it.
of
And
course.
you're right on the compatibility because if you mentioned it like I guess like in the beginning of the episode, it's because of passion. So you can't be like really in passion like with something if you work with people you're not compatible with. You're gonna have like very hard time.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that's
Um,
very good advice.
so it's not always. Sometimes you can't tell before you start a role, but I think once you do begin a role, you can really understand. Okay, am I compatible with this person? What do I like? What don't I like? How would I do things differently? And I think you just take those experiences and you just apply
Yeah,
it as you continue to grow, and you move on to your next adventure. So I mean, listen, life's all about, I don't know, learning and meeting people and yeah, and growing from there.
that looks like that.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time, Jake. I really appreciate like this conversation every time. So everyone, if you liked like the episode, if you liked Jake, feel free to look at the product. It's very simple. It's a little extension that you can add and just like basically just like scroll internet and you will have like a little promotion and just like get rewarded with crypto, which is something pretty cool, right? So you get exposure, you will get rewards. I mean, it's just like an easy way to just save money, right?
absolutely. You can find the extension at moso.xyz, moso.xyz, and really great to be here. I had a lot of fun, and we'll have to do this again, sometime in the
For
future.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Jake, and see you
Awesome.
very soon.
Yes, sir. Take care. Bye bye. Thank
See
you.
you.